Alright, this is the ute. Start off at the front here. You can see where I've patched up a little bit there. Haven't done any bog work obviously, so there's still a bit of filler work to be done. Another little spot there as well. Come along the side of the door. That's probably the worst patch of the ute, because you can see it doesn't really sit flush. So you look at this corner here. Again, no bog used. There as well. A little bit of a dent on the arch there and some paint missing. And that rear's nice and clean. Coming back to the driver's door. You can see there's a bit of rust bubbling through here in this back corner. Underneath that stone tray is pretty good. That's the back side of that patch. Underneath here is just pretty garbage. You'd need to replace it completely. That armrest is, I wouldn't probably say it's restorable, it's that's replaceable. Steering column out of a HG Holden. You will need some sort of gear indicator in there for roadworthy. There's also a neutral safety switch that is hooked up. No, it's not hooked up, sorry, it's in place but not wired up. You need to sort out some wiring for that. Speedo cable has snapped, so you will need another one of them. They're about 70 bucks on eBay. They do work, they do well, but the problem is I installed it like a dickhead. Go around the back of the car. A little bit of rust there underneath the bumper. They pretty much all rust here. On the plates, a little bit of rust just bubbling there, and a little bit as well on the tailgate as well. I don't think that's rust. I think that's someone's welding, and that could probably be rust as well. It is an original tailgate, as you can tell by the stampment, so it's not a reskin. That corner's pretty good. I believe I did do a bit of a patch here, and sorry, there is a little bit of bog in the car, so that is pretty much the only bog spot in the whole car, as well as this part here. So you'd probably look at replacing this lower guard section on the front quarter panel. Now, I think you can get panels that start around here somewhere. This door is actually quite clean. I haven't noticed any rust on the bottom of it. Nah, that's good. Like, not as bad on this side either as far as that little jam goes. So there's a little, they actually feel like spot welds to be honest, but that's obviously rust. I did weld a fairly large section on the floor underneath the driver's section there. There was a tube missing that carries the water from the vent, spits it out the guard, which meant that any time it rained it would spit water onto the carpet. So that's all fixed up. This seat belt's a failed attempt at making some sort of retractable. I have got the original green seat belt for it as well, so I'll include that with it. Retro sound radio, so it looks like the original, but it does Bluetooth and all that sort of stuff. One of two fuel gauges that do not work. It looks like the previous owners hacked out behind there, to be honest, so if you have got dreams of making the vent work back there, it has got the original pull cable still sitting behind the dash, but you'll need to re-weld the plate that it sits on back into there. It's all still there, just tucked up behind the dash. I don't know why they did that, to be honest, probably because none of the fuel gauge works. What else? Focal speakers. The seat has got a cover on it because of rips in the seat. Now, there is a little bit of rust here. Okay, hopefully you can see that. So you can look along that lip. You can see it's just starting to sort of sprout along this edge here. That stops where that ends as well. No dents in the sides. It's all pretty good. Right there as well. But yeah, just a standard little ply tray. One thing I have noticed, this left-hand rear brake cylinder is leaking, and there's also a little bit of rust at the front of this spring hanger. Not actually structural rust, but if you think of the spring hanger like a top hat, it looks like there's a... Actually, fuck it, I'll see if I can reach it and get a shot of it. There is it. I don't know if you can really see anything there, but there's a hole. Just see, if you look at the spring hanger, you've got the two outer edges. There's a hole in between that should be able to get at it from the top of the tray. Good tyres all around. I have got the rest of that badge somewhere, as well as a I've got a visor that goes over here, but it has got rust in the edges, which is why I took it off. As a result, it's a bit of some holes in the roof there too from when the last owner fitted it. Brand new alloy radiator, as well as I don't know if you can see that in there, the PWR oil cooler for the transmission. And of course this one's fitted with a 2-jack. Crane cams 5-oil ignition, so that's a HEI setup, points shit in tears. 85 amp alternator for the Commodore, and a new N70 battery. The original wiper motor no longer works, so I've just put the super cheap bottle in there. New master cylinder, although I'm starting to think that these lines are plumbed back to front. Reason being is it seems the rears lock up before the fronts. That slave cylinder, master cylinder for the clutch is just there to plug the hole in the firewall. It's not actually doing anything. What else we got? Had an oil change just last month. Anything else? Yeah, sorry, I did put a new rocker cover and side plate gasket in at the same time as the oil change, although I haven't done the one behind the coil there. A brand new coil as well. Anything else? Just trying to think what else I can say, really. I'm sure there's more that I'll think of, to be honest. There is a LED light in the cluster because I didn't find the other one bright enough. So that all works. Like I said, this is my daily driver. I still drive it every day to work. That's why I'm able to do it now. Headline's got no tears in it. That rear carpet's good. There is 2 carpets in the floor here. Neither of them are, they look alright, but neither of them reach the edge, so I'd bank on replacing the carpet if you're doing a full restoration.